Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Build Better Form Recognizer models with the feedback loop. I'm Netta, product manager for Form Recognizer, and in this theater today, we'll learn how to build and improve your models in Form Recognizer with our new feature of training with labels and providing a consistent feedback loop to improve your models. So Form Recognizer is part of the knowledge mining solution, enabling you to extract data and information out of your forms. So I assume you have forms in your company. There's medical forms, invoices, POs, tax form, bank forms, you name it, there are forms. Like, how many of you have forms in your company? Everybody has forms in your company. And what most of you companies usually do today is have a human sit with the form and extract the data manually to import it into their digitized systems. How many of you have companies that are doing this manually? Exactly. And if not, you probably built some specific models that try to do that, which take a long time to build and to create. What Form Recognizer does is there are tons of different types of forms. So keys can be on top, keys can be on the left, tables. Forms can have multiple tables, dense tables. And what Form Recognizer is trying to do is extract key value pairs out of this form very easily and enable you to get all the data from your forms with high quality. So what we're going to talk today is only about the custom part of Form Recognizer. The custom part of Form Recognizer is the part that enables you to train a model for your forms. It's tailored to your forms. You bring the data, you train the model is yours. It learns whatever is in your forms, and it creates a model for you. There's only 2 steps to do that. The first step is you call the train API. The second step you call the analyze API. And all you need to do is bring 5 sample forms from the same type to train the model. You can bring, of course, various types. So for example, an invoice, you can have various types for different providers. You can have various types of forms like a W-4, financial form, K-1 tax forms, and everything. But you need to bring 5 samples from each type to train the model. And the system will learn what are the keys and what are the values and what are the tables and extract this data for you. So let's start with a demo. And we're going to start first. You should first start with the unsupervised. So you bring the 5 sample forms. No human labeling work as needed. You run the train, you run the analyze API, and you see if your data is extracted. So let's see how it works. So this is the intelligent kiosk which has all the demos for all the cognitive services. This is a demo environment. The Form Recognizer service itself is an API, is a REST API cognitive service that you can easily call the REST train and the REST analyze API. In our scenario now, we're going to take car maintenance forms, and we're going to see in a second how they look like. Oops, sorry. So what this is currently doing, it's calling the train API and sending it the blob storage and giving it these 5 files to train on. And these are car maintenance files. So when you go to the garage, they list the vehicle make, they list the size, the tire size, all kinds of details on your vehicle, and then they also list the dates of maintenance. These are afterwards sometimes sent to insurance company for claims. These are sent to a different providers, and they also want to digitize this and put them into their system. So they want to extract this data. And you can see that the system, what it did when we provided the 5 sample forms, it learned that the vehicle name, make is this, the company vehicle number is this, the vehicle year is this, and it even managed to find a table here with all the details of the table. But these are the documents we trained on. Let's try a document that we didn't train on. So let's try a document that we didn't train on. And this time, the document is also handwritten. So we trained on digitized PDF, and we're extracting handwritten, because usually in the garage, somebody will just scribble the dates, scribble what he did, and fill in the form. And even in this case, the system discovered this is the vehicle make, this is the company vehicle number, this is the vehicle year, and these are all the maintenance and details that the vehicle did during the year. So in this case, we provided the system 5 sample forms, and the system managed to easily extract all the data. And what the service will provide you back is a JSON output, which has the key value pairs. So for example, the key, the text, the vehicle maker, the bounding box, the value, the text, what the vehicle maker is, the bounding boxes, and the confidence. So company vehicle maker, it's a value, bounding box, the value, bounding box, and confidence. In addition, the JSON output will always have a table, if there's a table, with the details of the table. So for example, let's go to the table here. Here. Where does it start? Here we go. The table ID, and the bounding box, the text, and the confidence. But in this case, as you saw, everything is extracted very nicely, and you're good to go. You don't need to do anything else. But in some forms, the unsupervised with the automatic learning will not learn all the data. So you would need to provide some human inputs. You want to improve the model. How would we do that? So this is a new feature that we're adding. This is a new feature that we're adding today that enables you to first label the documents, then train, and then analyze. With this feature now, you can label the values you're interested to extract, and train a model to extract the values that you're interested in. Again, you can start with 5 sample documents. You might need more depending if these are what the quality of the documents that you're trying to extract. For example, if they're tilted, if they're photos, stuff like that, you might need more than 5, but between 5 and 30 should be sufficient to come up with a high accuracy model. And it enables you to also create a continuous feedback loop. So you can always, let's say I started with 5 and then some more forms come in, I can label them, put them in the training data, and continue and improve my model accuracy as time goes along. So let's see some demos how we do that. So what you're seeing here is the form recognizer sample UX. This UX comes with the new feature, and it enables you to label the forms. It's a sample UX, so it's a Docker container that you will deploy either on-premise or in your subscription, and it will enable you to label the forms. So let's start and create a new project. Your data is sitting on a blob, so I have put my forms on a blob, and let's call my project demo 1 ignite. I select the connection, which is the connection to my blob that I created. The folder path, in this case, I put all the data in demo 1 in the blob container. And I will put here the key and endpoint that I'm calling the service. Once I do this, the sample UX reads the data from my blob. So now we're seeing these are the credit card authorization forms that I put on my blob that I need to label and extract data from. And you can see that once these form is the sample UX sees it, it also OCRs it. So all the highlighted yellow here is basically calling our OCR and extracting the data so we can easily label it. So all the highlighted is our OCR output results. Now let's say that I want to extract from these forms the card type. Let's add a label card type. The card number. Let's say we want to extract the authorized, whom I'm giving authorization to, and the date. And note that now I'm able to extract, for example, this value does not have a direct key. It's part of a sentence. And this value has a key under, and this value has a key on the left. And you know what? Let's also label the title of this form, which does not have a key at all. So let's start labeling. Let's mark this, and either click on this, or you can click on the number 5. Let's do the card type, the card number, the authorized, and the date. Now bear with me a bit. We need to label all the forms. This does not take very long, but it's still something that we need to do. So this was 5. This is card type, card number, authorized, and date. Card type, card number, authorized, date, and title. A few more. card number, authorized, date, and title. Card type, card number, authorized, date, and title. Almost done. Card type, card number, authorized, date, and title. I'll try to do it very quickly. We're almost there. Card type, card number, and you can see that the font, whoop. And you can see that the font changes. So in this font, the location, these are forms that are not filled in the same way, so everybody fills it in a bit differently. Card type. Okay, 2 more to go. Card type, card number, authorized, date, and title. Card type, card number, authorized, date, one last one. Card title, card type, card number, authorized, date, and title we did. Okay, awesome. So we labeled all our forms. It didn't take us long. It was quite easy to do. Now let's call the train. So what we're doing now is we're basically calling the train API, sending a REST request to the service, calling the train API, and the system is now going over all the label data, training a model, learning what are the key value pairs, and is replying back with the card type estimated accuracy is 100%, card number was 100%, authorized 100, date a little lower, and title overall model accuracy is 98%. And it gives you the model ID. So we created a model ID specifically for our forms for these forms. Now let's try to predict with it. So let's take a form that we haven't tried before, which is this form, and let's predict on it. What the system is now doing is sending that model ID and this form to the service to learn what is in the form and extract the data. And we can see that it extracted the Microsoft Corp, it identified the authorized, the card number, the card type, the date, and the title. So from labeling just a few forms, we managed to easily create a model that's tailored to our forms. Let's see another example, a little bit more, a different form type. And you can see that it extracted the keys under, the values without keys. Let's see another problem that's a little bit different. So in these, for example, in these forms are totally different. They have also handwritten. Let's label now the handwritten too and see if we can extract it. So let's, and this time I'll do the signature. We can label it. Yep. Okay, OCR extracted the handwritten too. We label it. And this time I won't bore you with labeling all of them. I'll go to a predefined one that has everything labeled already. So you can see that here I labeled in advance a few things. The name, which does not, has a really long key and is not very, has a key that is not very visible as a key. The purpose of payment, the name of the cardholder, a telephone number, the signature that is handwritten, date that is hidden like that. And you can also, even if you want, label things that are part of images. So if you have, let's say, a stamp with the receive date, you can, it will be, if it's extracted by OCR, you can label it. In this case, if you want the vendor to know which is the vendor, you can also label the logo and say vendor, and it will extract the vendor name, or from here, the vendor Contoso Bank, and it will extract that vendor name. Once we labeled all these forms, and all these forms are labeled in advance, we're going to run the train. So it's taking these forms, and it's running the train on all these forms and trying to learn all these values and how to extract them and create a model. We're going to give it a few seconds to run because there is a little bit more forms here and more data to process. And the output again is going to be, it completed, the output again is going to be accuracy per each value. So in this case, when we have a ground truth, when we label, we can provide accuracy. When we train without labels, we don't have a ground truth, so we only provide confidence when you predict. When you label, you can also see the accuracy of each value expected and the overall model accuracy. So the overall model accuracy in this case is 98. If that's sufficient for my project, I can go start sending documents to analyze and extracting the information. If I would have wanted to improve this, I would add some more labeling data in more formats. Let's say I can take some photos of those credit slips from a phone. I can take some tilted documents, stuff like that, and add them to my training set if this is what my data really looks like. And it should improve the model accuracy on these types of forms. Let's predict one that we didn't do yet. So let's see how this model performs. And this is a document that was not part of our training set. And let's predict on it. So now the service is sending this document to the Analyze API and extracting the data. Let's see how it did. So we can see that it extracted the AdventureWorks. This was our name. Let's find it here. The name, AdventureWorks. It extracted the purpose of payment, copay in this case. The name of the cardholder, for example. Cardholder name Jamie Gonzalez. Even the signature that is handwritten was extracted as Jamie Gonzalez. And if we look at the date, 12/11/20, which is written here, is also extracted as date 12/11/20. So by looking at the boxes, we can see that it did quite a good job on extracting all these data from all these forms. And of course, if you can add some more forms as you go over time. So let's say all my forms at the beginning look like this. I built a model like this. And now additional inputs comes in from different forms that are taking in different images that are taken in different angles, different quality of scans. I can add these to my learning, teaching the model as I go on by labeling these forms and improving the accuracy of my model as I go on. The sample UX basically enables you to get started, easily see the results. But now when you're processing data, you don't want to really use the sample UX. You want to call the Form Recognizer API. So to Form Recognizer API, for the custom, has two REST APIs. One is the train, which is the train command. And the values you send to train are your blob, your SAS blob, your SAS blob, and your key, your resource key. You call the train trains. You don't have to use the UX if you want to build your own UX, or if you're just, you already know the results and just want to train. And once you trained your model, you can send all your documents for extraction to the Analyze API. And the input to Analyze API is your model ID and the document you want to analyze. So once you send it, you get back a JSON response with the output of the keys and values and table if they were extracted. So you can integrate that into your system, push this into your SQL DB, into your SAP, into your ERPs, depending on the service. You can create a full flow out of this or build some functions to push that into your systems and automate all your forms in the company. So before we finish, I'll just share with you what's new in Form Recognizer in our next release that's coming. First of all, we added tip support. We added the ability to improve that we currently saw, all the feedback loop enabling you to label documents and train a model to improve the model, to improve the accuracy of your model. We added an async and batch API, so you're now able to train a large data set and analyze large documents. And we added a lot of extraction enhancement. We support today the latest and greatest OCR for higher quality of extraction. And we added extraction improvement to improve the table extraction and additional things, so you'll get higher quality of extraction. If you are interested in more knowledge mining sessions, these are, we did today the theater session that is here. Yesterday we did this one, and before that the knowledge mining. These are additional knowledge mining sessions that you should attend. The next one is tomorrow, which is industry specific, and will show a lot of example of solutions, of a knowledge mining solution for the different industries. And if you're interested in getting started, you can go to Form Recognizer here, fill the Contact Us form, and we'll give you access to the service, as the service is currently a limited access service. You can read the docs, go to the API that I just showed, or if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you.